Hello again. I'm Amanda, and I'm here to tell you that you need to read a book. And the book that you need to read now is C.S. Lewis's Till We Have Faces. So, who is C.S. Lewis? Silly question to ask, I know, because he's a very popular and well-known author. However, I'll explain anyway. So, Lewis is probably best known for his Chronicles of Narnia, at least popularly. His children's fantasy series, several of which have been made into movies, and I promise not to bore you with my opinion of said movies. But he's probably also just as well known, at least in America, for his Christian writings. He's very popular, especially in evangelical circles, for Mere Christianity, a survey of basic Christian theology that is supposed to be what's common to all Christians, no matter their denomination. And for the Screwtape Letters, his imagined dialogue between two demon tempters for how to tempt a human. He has other less well-known theological or devotional works. And then he also was a professor of medieval and Renaissance literature at Oxford University and then later Cambridge University. And then he wrote a less well-known but still somewhat popular trilogy, sometimes called the Space Trilogy, also known as the Cosmic Trilogy. I'll probably recommend them one day. But today's book, Till We Have Faces, is not his best known work. It is best known work. It is a little more obscure, and it's his one standalone novel. So what does he do in Till We Have Faces? Well, he takes the ancient myth of Cupid and Psyche, and I say Psyche, it's probably technically supposed to be pronounced Suke because that's how you pronounce the Greek word for soul, which is where her name comes from. However, I initially read it as Psyche, and so that's how it's in my head, so that's what I'm going to say. The myth of Cupid and Psyche, where Psyche's a beautiful human woman who attracts the attention of Cupid, the god of love, and then she is targeted by Cupid's mother, Aphrodite, the goddess of love, who is jealous of her great beauty. And Lewis takes this ancient myth and then just in this incredibly creative, incredibly inventive novel, he reimagines the psychology of the characters in just a strikingly original way. And one that I think is very important very important to read and to understand and to appreciate. So one element of the original myth that Lewis plays with the most is this. So Psyche is brought to the attention of Aphrodite by the action of her two jealous sisters. So she has two sisters that are not as beautiful as she is, and they're jealous of Cupid's attentions and of Psyche's beauty. Lewis says that this was pressed upon him almost from the first hearing of the myth, that the sisters had to have misunderstood or been uncertain in some way of the attentions of Cupid in order for their actions to make human sense. So he takes the myth and he just reimagines it in these very human terms, and he takes one of the sisters and he calls her Arual, O-R-U-A-L, which immediately suggests sort of an obvious pun of or you all. And he imagines that she is, yes, jealous of Psyche and possessive of Psyche, but is unaware of it. Her mental calculus or her mental understanding of herself is that she's loving and giving and that she's invested in what's best for Psyche, and misunderstands her own motivations. And what could be more human? So the novel explores her experience of Psyche as a child, her experience of growing up with her experience of her relationship to her, and how that affects Arual's other relationships in life. And most importantly, how that affects her understanding of who the gods are and what their relationship to humanity is and what humanity's proper relationship to the gods is. And Lewis does this in just a strikingly original way, a strikingly imaginative way. And the novel carries you forward through these various incidents to just a remarkable conclusion both for its seriousness, for its imagining of the human condition, for its portrayal of the human condition, and for its perspective on what the divine is. So, Till We Have Faces, not Lewis's best known work, but his, in my opinion, his most highly crafted and most effective work. So go read a book, go read Till We Have Faces by C.S. Lewis.